Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. We are the Middle Age guys. We're coming back to you again with another video talking about what we've been playing this week. Let me get the introductions out of the way. I'm the Reverend.
The theme here.
And I'm Grey Mouse 1.
Short little summary about this little set of videos that we've been doing for the past, actually, it looks like we've been doing this for like the past 2 months now, at least. Is that we pretty much go ahead, we talk about the videos that, we go out of our way to talk about the games that we're able to go ahead and indulge in throughout the week. Because even though it's obvious that our favorite hobby out in all the world is playing video games, as middle-aged guys, we don't always have the opportunity or the time to go out of our way and play it, whether or not it be, handling familiar responsibilities, real life happening, or getting sick and just being comatose in bed or whatnot. Sometimes that happens. But on the times that we do actually get a chance to play a game or sit down and enjoy our most favorite hobby out in the world, at around the end of the week, we always go ahead and record a video where we sit down and we talk about these games, okay? Like usual, none of these are going to be full formal reviews or anything like that. You can, I'll say it right now, you can't expect a few spoilers if we're talking about games that are from more than 2 generations back, because, that's potentially a game that's probably 10 years or more old. And with us, we do play a lot of the classic games and all of that. If we do pick up something brand new, we usually are pretty good about steering clear of any of that. But yeah, if it's something that's a decade old, you're just gonna have to assume that if there's something that's to be spoiled about it, we're probably gonna spoil it. Okay. Other than that, we just give our general impressions. All right. So I know we don't always have the same opportunities to go out of our way and play games out of the week. What are the game counts that we have in front of us right now, guys, so we can determine what order we're going in?
Wow. Okay. I have like 6 games here. A couple of franchises.
Okay. I have 4. What about you, Grey Mouse?
I have 1.
Okay. All right. Then I guess, you can jump in when you want to. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the theme when we did the last video previous to this one, you'll be doing mostly color commentary on this particular video. So feel free to go ahead and chime in whenever you have a thought on any of the individual games that we're talking about. And then we can go ahead and we could, that'll help continue on with the video, and you can still contribute.
Is this white privilege?
No, it's just you don't have enough games, so you're on the sidelines like I was last week.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not sure if not playing games is considered privilege.
Yeah.
But
right.
Color commentary, and that can't happen because I'm not touch enough color.
No. I said color commentary.
I'm still getting my color back because of me being green from being sick. And that's why I have like 6 games, a couple of franchises here, because I've been catching up. Now, of course, what I'm about to hold up now should be no surprise to anyone, courtesy of one of the videos that we got out there. Oh, yeah, I have to go back to this. Now, I played these 2. Now, this says U.S. Shenmue. The reason why is because this still is the Japanese version of Shenmue. However, U.S. language, U.S. subtitles, Japanese Dreamcast. Of course, I still have the original American copy of Shenmue 1, but since I also have a Japanese Dreamcast, I got this one too. And even though it's the quote-unquote exact same game, I love Shenmue. I love the whole franchise, love the whole series, and damn it, I can't wait until the Shenmue HD 1 and 2, and then Shenmue 3. Yes, I'm so excited about that shit. Nothing else needs to be said about this. I'm a big Shenmue fan, so I had to go back to these 2.
Yeah. From what I understood, like when Shenmue came out here in the States, because it still had the online component with Channel Shenmue, that you can go ahead and you could log into. I think the only difference between the two really is the access of the extra downloadable content with the US version. Because since that was published later, there were some items that were available for the US version that wasn't available with the original Japanese print. So, and that's pretty much the big difference between the two. But that's cool. That's cool. All right, let's see here. The first game that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw onto the pile. We had the guys over in which we actually did a kind of a game room tour, which video that I'm going to have to go ahead and edit up and then post. Yeah, Yuri Mouse, I know. You're the one who helped me record. You can go ahead and you can shake your head all you want on it. But I haven't gotten down to going ahead and editing it. But during that time that everybody was over, we sat down and we were playing a few games, all right? And there was a particular one that we played that I played along, and then I actually went ahead, since it stayed inside the PS4, I went ahead and I booted it up and I played it a few more times during the week. And that was this game right here, Tekken 7. So, yeah, a lot of fun. I gotta say, as far as this goes, Tekken 7, it's a Tekken game, you know? I mean, really, there's not a lot that you can sit there and say about it otherwise. The only thing that I gotta say as far as complaints about this particular game is that when it comes to DLC, aside from the extra characters, I'd rather have Tekken Force over Tekken Bowl. All right. The other thing too is that the even with as big as the roster is on this particular game, there are still quite a few glaring holes, especially if you sit there and you consider the past characters that didn't make it into this particular version of the game. All right. But still a great fighting game. Still a fun fighting game. I definitely enjoy it a lot. And, yeah, these guys know how much I enjoy Tekken. So, yep. And that's pretty much the first one on my pile. All right. Who's next?
I'm not sure if Gray Mouse will want to get his over with, so I'll continue. Oh, this next franchise will always be dear to my heart. Now, please make a trilogy of this game. Make this game a trilogy. One disc, PS4, Xbox One, maybe Switch edition of this. These. Please, Max Payne 1, 2, and 3. If you can make Shenmue 1 and 2 HD, look, Rockstar, Remedy, please put these games on one freaking disc. Please. I would love that. I would spend money for that. These 3 games, oh my God, sad story about Max Payne, dude. When you're playing it, you're like, damn, can shit get worse? Damn, shit got worse.
Yeah. And the problem, I'd have to say the only problem that I have with that particular series of games is that in the third one, after you go ahead and you play through it, when you think back about it, a lot of things that went wrong, a lot of things that went south are actually Max's fault.
Yeah, they're Max's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but, damn. Dude goes in his house, wife and kid being murdered. Like, damn. How the fuck do you start a story off like that?
They did that in the 70s. It was called Death Wish.
I know.
And they did it again in a game called Last of Us as well.
Oh, come on. The Punisher rings a bell.
Yeah.
So, again, but to play a video game like that, just don't be point blank with a fucking shotgun pointed to you. You turn corner, you get black. No matter how many painkillers you take, no, they're not going to help a shotgun blast to the head. So, yeah, painkillers, pills as health, or to reduce pain or whatever, or reduce your red. Yeah, like, damn, painkillers? And sometimes you are like, please let some painkillers be in this cabinet, please. What is it? Ding, ding, ding. A grenade. And then the motion, the slow motion. Yeah. Love that game. Love that game for that. Max Payne trilogy. Please do that shit.
Hopefully, Rockstar are thinking about that.
I don't think they even need to think about it at this point. Just do it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's another conversation about what Rockstar will put out. Did you want to jump in now, Grey Mouse, or shall I jump in? All right, let me go ahead and continue on to my next game then. Because the funny thing is that when Theme was talking about, this particular franchise, make a trilogy out of it and everything else, I thought he was going to be talking about this particular game. Because this one I was playing on the good old arcade emulator camera over there at work. And God! Power Stone 2. I gotta say that the overall level-to-level structure is definitely. I forgot that you don't lose your health bar when you move from stage to stage, from match to match. So, it took a little getting used to. But as far as it goes, Arena Fighters, the thing about it is that Capcom was really ahead of their time when they went out of their way and they did this. All right. Well, not really, because Melee was already out. But when it came to Arena Fighters and everything else, they really did go out of their way to explore a lot of other things, like with the whole moving, transforming stages and everything else, or the fact that everybody can lose unless you sit there and you realize that you've got to sit there and do something that'll keep you safe right at the end of the stage or whatnot.
This is death on there.
Yeah, there's sudden death. There are sudden death conditions in multiple stages, actually. So, yeah.
Well, on all stages, there's a sudden death. The time can run out.
Yeah.
And if you're facing a boss and the time reaches 0, you will automatically lose.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You won't beat the boss. There's no draw against the boss. You will just automatically lose, regardless if you're powered up out of stones or not. No questions asked.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would change with this particular game is that I think if Capcom went out of their way and they were to do something with this franchise and they were to make it easier where the ability to sit there and face and target like particular enemies, especially at least maybe even prioritize the ones that are closest to you, would definitely go ahead and help it out. But yeah, fucking fun game, and the thing about it is that it's another one of those games that comes out for on a Sega platform that ends up being ungodly expensive. Trying to find the U.S. version complete in case with instructions like this is usually a $100 endeavor. All right, so yeah, but the funny thing is that when I get a chance to play it, it makes me actually appreciate the fact that past the price tag is a really good fucking game. Right?
First of all, it's a great party game. And number 2, I remember this story. I remember when I first got the game and playing it, and there's a crowd of people watching 4 children play this game. And I remember it was the plane stage. Next thing you know, the plane gets destroyed, and it says the sky is falling. So you got 4 motherfuckers, and the altitude is counting down. And an umbrella drops and stays in the air. And I'm like, now this is the first time that any of us have seen this. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let me get this umbrella here if Capcom does what I think it's about to do. So everybody else, the altitude counts down, everyone else hits the ground when I Mary Poppins my ass all the way to the ground. Now, everyone in the back that was watching laughed. The 3 guys I was playing were pissed. They were like, oh, I was like, wait a minute. I didn't know. I saw umbrella. We were going down. I thought Capcom / Looney Tunes / Mary Poppins. What else did you want me to do? There were 2 umbrellas there. One of you didn't grab one. And if you have low enough energy, you can die like that. It's crazy. I mean, that stage, the Indiana Jones ball chasing you, someone carried me to the sliding door, and one person got left behind. That was funny. Good party game. Power Stone 3, please. Along with Rival Schools 3 and Darkstalkers 4. Please, Capcom. Party games. Online. 4 players, Power Stone, online, or 8 players? Come on. Please.
Definitely something to get a hold of.
That's a day one for me if that ever cobwebs out of my wallet. I won't care. But Power Stone 3, please. Gray Mouse, are you going to jump in or should I continue? No? All right. I'm going to pull out a pair of games here that only have one slight relation to them. Now, yeah, these. The only relation to them is the EA Sports Big that's on the bottom of them and everything. But these games here, man, I can remember spending hours and hours and hours each on these games. NBA Street Volume 2 and SSX 3. Oh, my God. I still have to make Prince and Charlie Murphy on this game as far as the character creation thing. I will do that. But, yeah, you can make your own character and hype him up and just, oh, God. Anyone that played NBA Jam in the 90s definitely appreciates this. And as far as SSX 3 goes, man, you move past SSX Tricky and you go to this. Tricky SSX 3. The soundtrack is great. Going all the way down the freaking mountain from beginning to end, once you earn that, great. The side missions, great. You can build up your character as far as stats and the tricks, great. On the soundtrack-wise, I stayed on Yellow Card. Way away. Great games. Play them motherfuckers if you've never played them. Create your own characters and have some fucking capital F-U-N.
Cool. You want to jump in or get Gray Mouse? Not yet?
No, not yet.
All right. Okay. All right. So, third game on my side that I've been playing. Let's see here. Funny thing is that I moved this. I got a hold of a second dock, a hold of a second actual. Yeah, and it was actually sitting on the entertainment center next to the TV when you guys were over. All right, but yeah, it's very.
We're too busy knocking each other out in Tekken 7.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, but I've been playing this particular game right here, Revenant Saga.
Oh, wow.
Which is a smaller RPG that was put out by Kemco. All right. Kemco is actually the folks who put out the original Uninvited, what was it? Shadowgate,
Deja Vu.
Yeah.
And even Rescue the Embassy Mission.
Yeah, Rescue the Embassy Mission. They've also done other games that are out there. They don't do a lot of games, but this is one of the ones that they put out. It's a JRPG, and it's a very low budget JRPG. It actually feels like maybe it was a port of a mobile JRPG that was put out in Japan, but it's a quaint little JRPG. All right. Your main character is basically he's going out of his way, and he's trying to go ahead and help this other girl, his neighbor, basically childhood friend, within the village and everything else. Turns out that there's a plague that's moving across the land, and that whoever catches the plague, either they die or they become, well, they usually die. All right. The other thing that's happening is that there are these monsters that are showing up all over the place called revenants, which are pretty much undead monsters. And it turns out that one of the doctor who's going around saying that he's got a cure for this plague is actually using that as a lure to get people in so that he can turn them into revenants. All right. and he's doing that in order to do something else. He has his own goals, but he's serving like this whole dark evil empire and other shit like that, right? So basically, your main character, he's trying to help his childhood friend. He meets up with the doctor. They end up starting to put him through the process to become a revenant. Turns out it's not finished because the lab where everything is going on gets destroyed during the time he's going through the process. So he pops out of the process with all of the powers of a revenant without being turned fully into an undead person. All right, but he still has the soul of a demon trying to fight him for fucking control during the whole time, and that's what gives him his power to actually go out of his way and do things. So far in the story, I met up with let's see here. There's another big organization called the Order, which is pretty much the church, right? I met up with two people who are employed by the church, who are tasked with fighting revenants, and then I've also found another girl who has went through the revenant process, who plays an integral part of the story. It's pretty interesting, but when it comes to like I said, JRPG tropes and stuff like that, it's 2D graphics whenever you're rolling around, wandering the villages or the map or anything. When you get into the fights, it's very simple 3D animation. It's like early PS2 stuff. All right, the quality of the graphics and everything goes, or early Dreamcast stuff. When it comes to that, but it's pretty quaint. The only thing that's got me going with it right now is that it doesn't look like it's very grind heavy as far as the progression of the characters go, and that the story isn't completely cookie cutter to what you expect from JRPGs. So definitely, if you're looking out for something to play on the Switch, then I think it's only like a $7 title or something like that. And you want to pick up a JRPG for less than $10. Remnant Saga is something that's there. It's ready to download that I can definitely readily recommend. Okay? All right. So who's next?
Okay, I'll go again. Oh my God. This game.
Oh, awesome. Yes.
Boxing Legends of the Ring. I have it for both Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. The reason why I got it for the Sega Genesis 2 is because I have a freaking Sega Nomad and I was taking that shit portable. This is one of those boxing games. First of all, it has both Sugar Rays in it. Ray Robinson and Ray Leonard. Has Thomas Hitman Hearns. This game was a very stylish boxing game and graphics to die for back in the day like that. Boxers were big as fuck. They covered the screen. Referee was there. The control was fluid. Sound, graphics, whatever. I was just like, whoa, what the hell is this? You fight, you block, you move, you got super punches, you knock a motherfucker out. You can even have a mode when you're getting like weaker, your screen would dim out.
Yep.
Blackout
option.
You're like, no! And just like you were like, oh, you're groggy and shit like that. So you're getting put on your ass and the referee is counting. Great fucking boxing game. Great game all the way around. I reckon, and the 2 players isn't that bad either. There's no slowdown when there's 2 players. And you'll change perspective per rounds. Great freaking game. Great game. I definitely recommend it as a boxing game.
Yeah, it probably has one of the actually for when it comes to 2D boxing and fighting games for the Super Nintendo. I think it's this might be a stretch, but I think it has like some of the best animations out there.
Yeah,
when it comes to a lot of that stuff. Because the thing is that I know that it does have Create a Boxer on it, and that you have the different styles of boxer and everything, and then you could tell like the difference of like, okay, how does the speedster throw a hook? how does a slugger throw a hook. It's very in depth, and it has like some of the crispest, smoothest animation when it comes to that stuff out there.
It does.
So yeah, definitely something to check out if you're a boxing fan and you've got a Super Nintendo. It's one to hunt down.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't have boxers like Tyson or Ali or George Foreman, but they had their own licensed games at that time. So, or like Evander Holyfield. But when they say boxing legends, oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, when you sit there and you consider that for a long time, what was it? It was for almost a good 20 years between the 70s, late 70s, all the way up until like the late 80s. Like the middleweights in America were like, they're the most famous boxers as it was around the world.
Yeah.
That's what it plays off of.
Yeah.
Right? Gray Mouse, what do you got? You got yours, and I got mine, and then Themes can go ahead and he's going to finish us up.
The game that I've been playing this week, pretty much only one game. So I've been picking, or I was playing Sword Art Online, Hollow Realization. It's a good game. It's obviously, I mean, I've been playing it for an entire week, and I'm still nowhere near even touching the surface. Typical JRPG, except with Sword Art Online characters. So you can expect Kirito and company, you know. So this one actually is a lot different from the other ones that you could actually create your own character. You don't have to play as Kirito. But,
okay.
I mean, I pretty much just left everything default just because I guess I'm lazy like that. But there's options there that you don't have to play him. It's like a visual novel slash JRPG slash like hack and slash type of game. The fighting on this, or the combat, is very intuitive. It takes a little bit of getting used to, because you got to kind of hold one button in and hold the other button in to activate certain sword skills and stuff. You have your typical armory and your typical sword, where smith, where you could actually create these swords and stuff. And this pretty much, this is kind of after the events that happened in the anime and season 1 and 2 of the anime. So a lot of the characters in there from season 1 and season 2 are also characters as well. And of course it has a little bit of actually, quite honestly, a lot of fan service. There's a little bit of etchiness in there. But so you got to win these girls' affection, and then when you do, they have special cut scenes and stuff. It's kind of like what is it? Dead or Alive Extreme 3, where you level up the person's personality, where they like you, and then they'll do things that they normally wouldn't do. So yeah, it's an interesting game
that they normally wouldn't do.
Huh?
That they normally wouldn't do. What was the way you put that? That was hilarious.
I was kind of keeping it PG as much as possible.
That wasn't PG at all.
But no, it's good, and especially if you follow the series, if you read the visual novels, not the visual novels, the
mangas,
the mangas and the light novels, so you'll understand the character interaction between. So basically what it is Kirito is around like 5 or 6 women that are like completely head over heels with him. But there's only one true, Kirito's only one true love is Asuna. And that's, but you got these other fighting her, and it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, I recommend this game, especially if you're into the anime and the manga and the light novels.
Yes.
Enough about that.
Cool.
I'm going to turn into one of those manga that has a little red blushes on my
Oh, no,
my
you're
cheek
not.
if I continue
You're not doing that.
As long as you don't end up having like one of those full body pillows, with with those types of pillowcases.
Oh, no.
I mean, the figures I have up here on my shelf, I'm not far away from that. I'm just saying.
No, that I wouldn't have said that on video. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's continue on. All right.
I don't care. Hey, you can judge me for whatever you want. I don't give a shit.
Let's continue on. All right.
Got two more.
Yeah,
So,
we got two more. So let's go ahead and
I
wrap.
have two more particularly, and I won't take long. And I'm just going to show one of them. Da-da-da-dan, da-da-da-dan.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Cool.
Great beat 'em up. And it's a movie title. So I was like, okay, how are they going to fuck this movie title up? But they didn't. They actually made a good beat 'em up. Why is it not two players? Because this is a movie game from Batman Returns. Unless you want us to see two Batmans running around. No, there wasn't no Robin at that time in the movies. So it's a great beat 'em up. Throwing motherfuckers on the ground, throwing motherfuckers in the background. Use batarangs. You can swing. You can freaking. There's a Batmobile stage. There's, test tubes to eliminate everybody on the street. Play that shit. Play it. Enjoy it. It's a good beat 'em up. One player, yeah, good beat 'em up though. Play that shit.
Yep. All right. Okay. If you've ever played WarioWare micro games, and if you've ever gotten to the, what is it? I think it's the third subset of games where 9Volt is the one who's handling it, and they're all mini games or micro games based off of existing NES IPs.
Oh, that's
Nintendo
awesome.
IPs and stuff like that. Yeah. If you've ever wanted to go ahead and think, you know what if they really took this idea like into the stratosphere and went ahead and made a whole game or set of games, just a compilation set of games centered around this idea of where it's like, okay, bite-sized sections of classic NES IPs, all right? But then at the end, for the boss stages, go ahead and fuck them up, like throw a whole bunch of them in the blender. Then you'd be thinking about this game right here.
Yeah.
NES Remix, all right? And this is one that I've got the digital copy of. When this first came out, it came out digitally, NES Remix, this one right here, for the 3DS and also the Wii U, all right? Then they released out NES Remix 2, which was only available digitally on the Wii U. Later on, they released out Ultimate NES Remix for the Wii U, but I've been mostly playing it on the 3DS, okay? And what this pretty much consists of is, like I said, if you're familiar with 9Volt stages on WarioWare games, micro game challenges of NES titles, all right? So they'll drop you into things like Excite Bike, make 3 jumps, all right? Or navigate around 3 titles or three obstacles. They'll drop you into like Super Mario 3, where they're like collect all the coins and stuff like that. Okay. With each stage, there's a time limit and everything, and as it'll rate you on the number of points that you accumulate as fast as possible, and then at the end, after around 6 stages, you get a boss stage where it sits there and goes, oh, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the game that you're in, and we're going to mix in elements from other IPs, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to fuck things up, right? Where it's like all of a sudden you're little Mac and you're playing against you're fighting against, instead of Glass Joe, I don't know, one of the Womps from fucking Super Mario Brothers 3. All right. And where it's like, okay, you're going to have to figure out how to defeat him. And it might just be an issue where it's like dodge for the whole fucking round. That's how you fucking defeat him. Or, you'll have Kirby fighting against the tree in green fields, and then all of a sudden you have the boost from Super Mario World just raining into the area and stuff like that. Great fucking game, especially if you're familiar with the classic games that are on here. And if you're not familiar with the classic games on here, guess what? You really don't even have to know, because everything that you have here is going to be digested in 10 to 30 seconds anyways. All right? Okay, you think you can wrap this up in less than 2 minutes?
Yes, I can.
Go ahead, sir.
If there's anything if you can't say about this game, then this is something different. I mean, come on. It's a great arcade game, maze game. You're basically Peter Pepper. You're armed with peppers. You have jealous food, hot dogs, and eggs. And I don't know why pickles are chasing you, because you can put them in the hamburgers. Huge hamburgers. You're making them. You're stacking them down all the way. I remember when I first got this for my birthday. Put it in. My sister hears the music, and she's reading the book, and she's like, oh, let me play. She kidnaps my NES Advantage and plays it arcade style. And I'm like, but it's my birthday. Fuck, I can't play my own shit. But Burger Time Arcade, or on Nintendo, or even the ColecoVision, great fucking game. Love the arcade. Love that. Play that shit. Just play it.
She kidnapped your socially insensitive joystick.
And yet, look, it was my birthday, but she's just like, I'm playing this.
There are so many jokes that we can go ahead and say that's probably just will start another 40 minutes altogether. But that's pretty much what we've been playing this week, folks. Thank you very much for getting up until this point if you've entertained the video all the way. If you like the video, we would appreciate the like. If you don't like it, honestly, go ahead and mark it unlike. I'm not going to blame you. But what we would really want to know is that if there's any games that you've been playing this week, tell us about it by leaving a comment below. While you're at it, if you really like what we're doing here, you want to stick around, I do suggest that you go ahead and subscribe to any of our channels and turn on those notifications so you'll know whenever we put out a brand new video, either with all of us together or by ourselves on our particular channels. And in a nutshell, that's another video down. What the fuck we've been playing this week. Yes, I'm going to cuss at the end. You know why? Because we can't fucking monetize this video anyways. All right. Yeah, all the bullshit about what the fuck we've been playing ends right here. I'm the Reverend.
The theme here.
And I'm Grandma Swan.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming. Credits.
Yeah, that's right. We can't fucking monetize this, even though we were eligible for it before. Thank you very much, YouTube. Thank you.